Hi everyone, I hope you're well, thanks for clicking on the video. I'm doing another fighter breakdown today. We'll be talking about Sean O'Malley, the one and only Sugar Show. He's a man that, in a division that's perhaps more talently stacked than any other division right now, he's a man who stands out with his technical prowess on the feet. He is just an incredible man to watch inside that octagon. He's so entertaining. Some of the shots he throws, he's long and rangy. He's a sniper on the feet. He picks his shots perfectly. And people, they just don't see these shots coming, man, because of the weird angles he throws them from. What he did to Thomas Almeida should be damn near illegal. You know what I mean? That was a beating like no other. There were people, myself included, screaming throughout that fight, just begging the referee to stop it because, Sean O'Malley was putting a beat down on that guy. Sean's had a bunch of really remarkable performances inside the octagon against a whole different range of opponents, right? But he's still, in the eyes of the general public, he's still relatively unproven. And unfortunately for him, both times he's fought ranked opponents or opponents that are in and around that top 10, top 15 area, he's had super unfortunate endings to those fights, right? He fought Chito Vera, and unfortunately Chito Vera throws a leg kick, hits Sean's peroneal nerve, which has happened maybe, I can count how many times that's happened in MMA, probably on one hand, right? I can think of it happening to Michael Chandler in Bellator. Pretty sure it happened to Henry Cejudo when he fought DJ. He eventually went on to win that fight, but the point I'm saying is it was a really unfortunate injury, something we don't see often, and that led to Sean falling down to his back and getting finished on the ground by Chito. He also fought Pedro Munoz in his last fight, right, which was another guy who at the time was ranked in and around that top 10, top 15 area, and it's a no contest. He ends up poking the guy on the feet right as it seemed as though Sean was starting to feel his groove, right, and really starting to get ready to pick his shots. And it's just so unfortunate because both of those fights have left kind of a salty taste in the eyes of the general public, right, in the eyes of the casuals, which is so unfortunate because a man like me and people that really follow this sport, they see Sean O'Malley and we see how technical, how incredible this man is, and the potential he has inside the sport is remarkable. He's got a fight coming up against Peter Yan. I'll be doing a separate fight breakdown on that because there's just so many details to unpack in that fight. Sean O'Malley's been counted out by so many people, and a man that is so lethal on the feet, it would be foolish to count him out of any fight, right? Despite the unfortunate results in the two fights we just talked about, Sugar Show, he's kind of got this way of working his magic, and even in those performances, he puts his own touch, his own spice on it and makes people believe that, hey, I may have got finished by Chito, but man, if my injury wasn't there, I was about to light him up on the feet. And who are we to argue with him? He's just so spectacular while it's standing. He may just have very well been ready to knock Chito out when that injury happened. And after the eye poke with Pedro, again, it's the same sort of thing where it's look, I was getting Pedro's timing down. He wasn't hitting me anywhere. I was checking all his leg kicks. I was getting ready to put him out of there. And again, it's you can't argue with him because of all he's done inside the octagon. If he says he was getting ready to get him out of there and he was just got his timing down and he was just getting ready to land a bomb, I believe him, you know what I mean? And clearly the UFC brass believe him because they put him in this fight, which is clearly a number one contender fight, right? I feel as though even though Sean O'Malley's really fought no one inside the top 10 and had a decent result, if he goes out there and he puts Peter Yan out or even just dominates him throughout the entire fight, I don't think there'll be many people that will argue with Sean when he calls for a title fight. I feel like he would be deserving of that just because of the regard people hold Peter Yan in. And like I said, Sean is a dog in that fight. He is more than capable of finishing Peter Yan. It's a shame that Sean O'Malley is so underrated and that him and his skill set can't just be taken for face value, because if everyone could just put all the bullshit aside and look at his skills technically, they would all be saying the same thing, which is what I'm saying right now, that Sean O'Malley is not just a future title contender, he is a future champion, right? And he's a future champion at a weight which is filled with killer sharks, man, filled with assassins and executioners. I believe 135 is the deepest and most talent-stacked division in the UFC right now, and even so, Sean O'Malley still stands out amongst the others with his technical prowess. I just can't keep explaining to you all just how good this man is on the feet, and he's only been training for a short amount of time. He's no lifelong specialist. He's not like a former karate champion or former taekwondo champion. He picked up all of his skills later on in life, and look how incredible he is, man. He has such a high ceiling. I can't sing his praises enough if you can't tell. I just love Sugar Sean. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more UFC content. I'll have way more fight and fighter breakdowns on the way. Also leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts and opinions on the Sugar Show. I'd love to talk to you about him. Like I said, he's my favourite fighter, so I'd love a discussion. If you guys are still watching right now, thanks so much. I appreciate all of the support I'm getting on the channel at the moment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys.